When buying pets online, do we always know the person behind the pet? Right now, there are deceitful sellers who are mistreating animals on a grand scale to line their pockets. I've seen the cute pets online, but now I want to find out about the dark side of the pet trade.
We found Max on a website, a popular website that advertised for different animals. It seemed like a normal family home. There was children there. We just dealt with the husband.
This lady that was local, she had a litter of 7 kittens. Marley sort of come over, kind of knew that he was the one out of all of them.
We brought Max home, and that's when things started to go wrong because Max had collapsed. Then we thought something serious is wrong here.
It was after about 4 or 5 days of him settling in. When he was going to the toilet, he had really bad diarrhoea with bloods. That's when I decided to take him to the vets.
We drove as quickly as we could to the emergency hospital, and then every night we'd ring for an update. Some nights it was touch and go. If, the next day he would still be with us.
And that was at the point they also turned around and told me that he was 4 weeks old and not actually 8 weeks old, to which the seller had said to me. The vet turned around and said, unfortunately, it's very unlikely he will survive.
Third-party sellers will use an amazing array of tactics to try to fool you into thinking that they are the people who bred those puppies. So you might find them in a family home. Sometimes that home has been rented for a short period of time, and a different litter is being shipped in every few days as they sell them.
There are markers that should flag up to people, and you're in the area and they change location last minute. That's always a bit of a red flag. They might say, oh, can we meet nearby? It could be a lay-by, it could be a car park. And people should step back and take a moment and think about it and maybe question it a little bit further.
Did you think about the sellers or contact them?
I did try to contact the breeder, but I didn't get an answer. But there was just no reply, nothing. Things weren't right. We felt suspicious about the whole situation, so we did report them to RSPCA, and it turned out they were puppy farmers. And the puppy farmers had been in business for 5 years and had made around £2 million.
They would have sores all over their limbs and their chest. If they had longer hair and fur, then clumped together with feces, and they all smelt of urine. Afterwards, you do kind of dwell on it, and that's when it's a little bit harder.
You've got to have the welfare of the animals upmost in mind and do everything for them, not thinking about profit margins. They got to have the best, and they got to be in the middle of your house to get used to all the household noises. It's not the most convenient way, but it is the best way. I don't sell puppies over the phone. You have to come and meet me, because I think if you meet people, you get a gut feeling what they're about.
What might a deceitful seller do that was different from that?
I would think, first and foremost, they're after your money, so they're going to be asking for deposits very early on, before you've even seen the puppies. And another thing to watch out for, I think, is if they're offering different breeds and combinations of breeds. I think that's a real red flag. There are a lot of deceitful breeders out there, but there are also a lot of good breeders. And you just got to do your research, and you will find them.
When we look back and think how we were living hour by hour with him, it's just lovely after seeing him so poorly to now seeing him so well.
I just pictured it being nice with 3 cats, healthy cats. I never would have thought I would be putting him to sleep 12 days after having him.
As long as there is a demand for pets, there's a risk of trade that favours profit over welfare. The positive news is that there are good people and good sellers out there, and with a few quick checks and an awareness of what's happening, we can make sure our pets are well looked after. So make sure you research the seller before you get in touch. Always ask, who is the person behind the pet?